After snapping the 76ers 8-game win streak, there's someone on the Indiana Pacers we must talk about, and that is Tyrese Haliburton. Over the last 2 games, Haliburton has dished out 32 assists while not turning the ball over at all, and to go along with that, he's also poured in 58 points over the last 2 games as well. Sure, the sample size is very small, but to have 2 games in a row where you put up such numbers is amazing. Hallie has been elevating this Indiana Pacers team to start off this NBA season, and when you watch the way he moves on the court, you can see he's in a flow state just moving off pure instincts. Like look, on this push up the floor, he's taking the exact angle the defense is shading him, so by pushing to the right side, he ends up attracting the attention of 3 Jazz defenders, and while this happens, Nesmith is cutting behind his man, so instead of forcing the drive where he could potentially run into this help defender, or forcing this pass to Nesmith where it could get picked off, it's just an easy kick out to Nembhard for the tray ball. If you watch the Pacers, you'll notice these quick simple reads are a main predicate to his game, as you don't need to make things harder than what it is, it's simply about taking what the defense gives you. Once you learn to not keep the ball in your hands for a long time and realize that ball movement opens up many different looks, well here's where the simple pass to the man 1 spot away after attracting 2 defenders is made so Mathurin can go grab a layup. And then on actions like this where Miles Turner ghosts the screen, you'll notice that neither defender takes him on the roll, so this forces John Collins to sink in and take away the easy look, but in turn, it opens up yet another easy look and Nesmith is able to drill it home. Some of you might be saying to yourself, well what exactly about this is exciting and makes him a good passer? And partially, I get where you're coming from. If you're casually tuning into games and you watch Tyrese facilitate on the court, the reads could look so easy that you don't understand where the hype comes from, but hey, don't worry, over here at Hoop Mastery, we break it down all the way. So I'm gonna dig in real deep to show you what makes his passing so special, even in its simplest nature. Just as we talked about taking what the defense gives, it translates right into this find where Hallie is obviously looking for his own shot, but when he realizes Batum releases off Turner to contest the shot, it's a no-brainer to him, and he flicks it back to Miles for the top of the key wet jet. It's just like in American football where they audible the play based off what they see from the defense, so by being 2 steps ahead, on this play you would assume Tyrese would drive to the baseline or hoist up a 3, but with that IQ he knows the defense will be shifting in his direction, so seamlessly while catching the pass, he directs it back up to Nesmith and it's nothing but a bucket. As a great floor general, you have to be able to envision plays before they actually materialize, and on this step back, Hallie doesn't get the space needed to hit this 3, and since Turner has a matchup, this makes the backside defender come help, so it's a quick zip across the court for Mathurin to soar in for the dunkie. Other times you'll see Haliburton slow down the pace so defenders don't back up too far, and since all eyes are locked in on him, it allows Nesmith to sneak back door, Tyrese delivers the bounce in stride, and Nesmith can slam it through inside. Now look, by now you should be able to see that even though these plays may look simple, they're actually more complex than what you think, but hey, if you're still not convinced yet, well stay with me because we're about to turn it up a notch. When Tyrese kicks it in gear to get downhill, he'll attract multiple defenders a lot of the time, and just before he gets too deep into the paint, he'll quickly find the open man to get the ball to. Versus Philly, Hallie changes directions and bursts through the gap with a quickness, but when he's cut off by not just Covington, but Embiid as well, he knows Jalen Smith is naked on that outside, so he spins back towards the direction he came from and dimes it out for the warm-up jumper. I guess you could relate this to that audible passing we were talking about earlier, as on these actions Tyrese is looking to get a bucket, but once he catches wind that a teammate is more open and capable of getting the bucket, then unselfishly he'll leave it on the plate for them to go eat. Honestly, there's not a pass he can't make or a pass he won't attempt. He's never too sped up or out of control, so he can be patient enough for the defense to finally collapse, and once they do, well bada bing gets the thread right through the center of the defense for the lay. Now I know a lot of NBA fans hate his no-look passes, but hey, come on, this thread right past 2 Bulls defenders and route for Smith to lay it home was beautiful. And then versus Utah, Jordan Clarkson gets caught in a bad place having to choose between which man he's going to take, so Hallie initially looks towards Mathurin, but just fooling the defense, he whips this down low to Turner for the easy flush. There's just so many ways he can get it to his guys on the court, it makes it easy for him to play off of. I want you all to tell me your favorite pass that he dishes out in the comments below. And don't just stop there, also tell me your favorite aspect of his scoring as well. I'll respond to you guys in the comments below with my favorite part of his passing, but as far as his scoring goes, his inside game is by far the thing I like the most. Being able to get downhill is one thing, but to understand how to place it off the glass, when to use the layup versus the float, and what angles you should take, all separate good drivers from great drivers. When pushing into the paint off this screen, Tyrese knows he doesn't have the physical attributes to move Embiid, but what he does have is that touch. So that's when we see him use the high arcing scoop layups off the window. Just so you can see this isn't a one-off thing he does, you'll see as he comes off this screen, he hesitates just long enough to throw Crowder off, and with one man to beat in Brook Lopez, he gathers into a scoop with the left before even getting close, and Lopez stands no chance at blocking the attempt. These lays require a great level of touch and timing, so if you're a split second late, the defense could easily send the shot back, and if you put too much on it, it could clank right off the backboard. For Hallie, he's just too good at seeing the angles to the rim that even when he fumbles the pass swung his way, he notices the straight line drive, so he uses the carry over the reach in and scoops this extra high over the defender for 2 points. After seeing the ball fall through the basket a couple times off these scoops, this is when he starts heating up and you'll see more complex attacks and even more difficult lays. Once noticing the gap in the Jazz's defense, Haliburton slowly gets to the spot before abruptly bursting through, and with Kelly Olynyk trailing him closely, he extends far out with the right and places this perfectly off the glass. That change of pace can all out cook defenders because although Haliburton isn't known for being a speedy athlete, he's definitely no joke when it comes to changing speeds to blow past the defense. After passing half court here, you'll see him use those choppy steps to set up the crossover. Out of it, he's able to get the step on Batum towards the basket. And if you watch closely, Tyrese uses his lower body to angle himself into the defense while extending his upper body away. So now it's a soft touch off the glass through the contact. With that same setup going at Dean Wade, you can see the way he initiates the contact a little better as he lunges into Dean's space first and then uses the contact to bounce off to convert the bucket. Yeah, it's pretty hard to contain Hallie when he sets his mind to get to the rack, but let's say you do steer him away from taking it inside, well he's more than capable to stop short of the rim and use that soft touch on the floater. I already know on this bright court it's really hard to focus, but when bigs are stalking him out as he comes off the screen like Mobley does here, instead of trying to bully his way to the rim, he'll opt into this high arcing floater to outbeat the defense. At times he'll have to be a little more creative when approaching the attack, so by dragging this hezzy out to the right, it makes DeRozan lunge out just enough so Tyrese can blow past, and just before meeting Vucevic, that floater comes out the bag to grab the bucket. The inside scoring is just something defenses will have to scheme harder against, but what's even crazier than that is that if they somehow do stop that, then here's where his more than deadly 3-point shooting comes in handy. It may not be the most conventional shot as it does look kinda funky, but hey, what do they say? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Pouring it in from deep at a 43% rate on nearly 8 attempts per game, Haliburton can hoist it up in a multitude of ways, just making the defense frustrated. Whether it's off the kickouts, ISOs, off-ball movement, pretty much every way you can think of, Tyrese can knock it down. It's still early in the season, so I'll continue to monitor his game, but as of now, Tyrese Haliburton is bound to have a great season. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like before heading over to watch this Luka Doncic analysis. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.